how would you build up the parami to create karma, to become a karma? This is like creating from vows. That is creating karma by such a vow, by such intentions, and then complaining that cultivating the parami, why is so much suffering? This is because of grasping from the practice, from cultivation. That's why it's becoming suffering. Meeting the Buddhas, continue to come to terms with cutting and help through cutting continuously. Do not practice for attainment. There is nothing that is unbearable at all. There is nothing that is going to be suffering, because the great compassion has always been there to purify. The blessing is also purify itself at all times, unlike the accumulation of perfection, because there is no purification within the assume up itself. Therefore, there is accumulation of suffering. When there is a projection for obtaining, why the graces give something that cannot be grasped. When you project for grasping, it creates difficulties. Therefore, the essence of the truth of Nibbana, let's come to terms with it for samsara continuously. This has been done from any Buddha eras. It will continue onwards with such essence, that which is enlightened for, then share the enlightenment for all beings. Don't practice all for the sake of oneself discreetly. It creates troublesome for oneself. So let the reminders purify themselves. Everything is from uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself. These are the reminders that have auto-purification. The conscience has auto-purification, then there will be no pitfalls, because it's not about projection to practice for attainment or obtaining anything from the reminders. Let the reminders be the one that have auto-purification onwards, cutting through themselves continuously, cutting within the reminders themselves. Then there will not be any leftover of suffering. There will not be any pitfalls remaining. It's not about practicing for attainment or projection for obtaining anything or achievement. That it has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachments. Let's proceed with this essence simultaneously with everything. That which has nothing to do with my or not my, proceeding with everything simultaneously. Continue to purify through Nibbana. constantly. There's no need to await for Buddha eras or Buddhahood. Any time, that's the time of Buddha eras and Buddhahood. It's the same essence, whichever Buddha eras. The essence is from not attached to the non-attachment itself, all the same. Uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself, all the same. It's the same essence, no matter which Buddha eras. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment, all the same. That which has nothing to do with Nibbana or not Nibbana, all the same, in every Buddha era. Therefore, there is no need to be wasting time to awaiting for any Buddha eras or Buddhahood. Coming to terms with purification constantly, no matter how there is the shifting and changing of realms of existence. Let's come to terms to purify constantly for one another. This has nothing to do with the cycle of birth and rebirth, old age, sickness. That which has nothing to do even with the uninvolvement itself, uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself, constantly, together constantly. The mighty force of helping through unwinding and liberation is to be given constantly. The fluency will be from the foundation of the great compassion to everything as a reminder. Therefore, one will not kick the ball into one's goal. The foundation of the great compassion is the word everything. Therefore, is not obstructed, no stuck, no blocked. Everything will not be blocked within itself. Frequently, everything is from uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself. Frequently, this will dissolve the cycle of desires. All that identification with anything is the stream of desires and cravings. This kind of attributes will be dissolved immediately. From uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself, everything more frequently. frequently. We call it everything is from mind, which is from mind itself, uninvolved within the involvement itself. That which has nothing to do with mind or not mind. Neither is involved with involvement or uninvolvement. Is subjected to diligently giving for samsara. This is the giving that is ungraspable. Giving something that is ungraspable, helping through unwinding and liberation, is impossible to use the grasping mind with it. Cannot be taken. It will cleanse all the delusion within states of mind and state of Dhamma, that is karma overlaying the mind, mental karma, karma overlaying state of Dhamma attainment. This will purify all the delusion that overlays the state of mind, state of Dhamma attainment. This is the samudaya within Dhamma. Samudaya within the mind, the delusive attachment overlaying the mind and Dhamma. In other words, it's called karma overlaying Dhamma and the mind. Continue to use the reminders. Everything is from uninvolved within the involvement itself, constantly. From give up the giving up itself, everything is from let go of the letting go itself. Use these reminders to purify constantly. These kind of reminders, they have auto-purification. They will not become samsara. These are terminologies that purify themselves. They assume up that purifies itself. It cannot become samsara. Auto-purification within terminologies and assume up. They cannot become samsara at all. These are auto-purification within terminologies themselves. Therefore, it's impossible to become samsara of terminologies. If it becomes something that is grasping for themselves, there will be a delusion that circling within terminologies fixated to them. These are samsara. Not grasping for the non-grasping itself. It's impossible to become samsara at all. It's impossible to be circling with it either. Once you start to send the signal of giving, one will not be stuck with just depression within one's own mind and heart only. If you proceed individually on one's own way, it will be an issue. It has to be proceeded in the way of not grasping for the non-grasping itself, give up the giving up itself. You think we become like taking on karmic difficulties of samsara because there is no purification. If it's proceeding with not grasping for the non-grasping itself, then it will be the purification of extinction and emptiness that is proceeded. And this will not become individuality. Purification with the extinction and emptiness, helping through releasing and liberation, is not on one's own way, because otherwise it will be projecting it's not about individual beingness that is retaining the perfection and suffering. Whether it's humans or non-humans, it will be like this. Same thing. There is no retaining of suffering with the essence of uninvolved within the involvement itself. This is helping through the brightness, purifying through the extinction and emptiness. When the mighty force is shared, anyone can aspire with the same essence for one another. It will not be difficult. However, there must be aligned with the terminologies that purify themselves. Otherwise, it's going to become samsara. That's have to be aware. Use terminologies that have auto-purification in themselves. Being aligned with the purification within itself. Samsara is always here. If you don't bless at all times, the gap that there is no blessing, that is suffering with samsara, because samsara is the suffering. When there is no purification at any moment constantly, that time the suffering will be there with samsara, always feeling unbearable. Vedana and hindrances altogether with samsara. Therefore, use the reminders as a purification onwards, from uninvolved within the involvement itself, constantly. Not grasping for the non-grasping itself, constantly.